The action unfolds in the near future on a planet called New World. This place was supposed to be a second chance for humanity, but it became its curse. The main character is a young man named Todd Hewitt, who lives in the settlement of Prentisstown. There is one terrifying feature here. All men are afflicted by noise. Noise is a mental virus that brings all of a person's thoughts, images, and feelings outward in the form of a glowing cloud and a constant hum of voices. It is impossible to hide anything. Your fears, desires, and even fleeting fantasies are visible to everyone around you. Todd is the youngest resident of the town, and he struggles to learn to control his noise by repeating the mantra, "I am Todd Hewitt." He is being raised by two guardians, Ben and Cillian, who try to protect the boy from the cruel orders of the settlement. Prentisstown is ruled with an iron fist by the charismatic but frightening Mayor Prentice. He is the only one who has learned to control his noise so skillfully that he can create terrifyingly realistic illusions or completely suppress his thoughts, becoming silent. The town legend states that many years ago, the planet's natives, creatures called spackle, killed all the settlement's women, including Todd's mother. Since then, Prentisstown has been a city of men living in the chaos of their own thoughts and under the mayor's eternal supervision. Everything changes when a reconnaissance ship from a new wave of colonists crashes in the forest near the city. The sole survivor is a girl named Viola. When Todd stumbles upon her in the forest, he is stunned. He has never seen a woman in his life, but that is not the most shocking part. Around Viola, there is silence. She has no noise. She is the only being on this planet whose thoughts remain a secret. For Todd, this meeting turns his world upside down, but for Mayor Prentice, Viola's appearance is a threat. He realizes she is a harbinger of a massive ship of colonists who could strip him of his power. The mayor and his son, the cruel Davy Prentice Jr., begin a hunt for the girl. They want to use her to lure the main ship and seize its technology. Ben and Cillian realize that Todd and Viola cannot stay in the city. They give Todd a map and his mother's diary, revealing a terrible truth. Beyond Prentisstown, there are other settlements that the mayor forbade mentioning under penalty of death. Todd and Viola are forced to flee into the unknown, pursued by an army of men whose furious noise can be heard for miles around. Now their only goal is to find a way to contact Viola's ship before Mayor Prentice reaches them first. Escape from Prentisstown becomes a true ordeal for Todd. His noise constantly betrays their location. He cannot stop thinking about Viola, his fear, and their destination. Viola teaches him to focus his thoughts, becoming a silent center in his chaotic world. They encounter a spackle, a native of the planet. Todd, raised on stories of them being murderers, is ready to kill, driven by the fury of his noise. But Viola stops him. She sees the truth the creature is terrified. Doubt about the mayor's words begins to grow. They reach Farbranch, a settlement that is the complete opposite of Prentisstown, where men and women live together. For Todd, seeing a normal society breaks his psyche. He learns that women having no noise were the barrier that helped men stay sane. Soon, Preacher Aaron, a mad fanatic from Prentisstown, catches up with them. His noise is filled with burning images and screams. He attacks the settlement, trying to capture Viola. In this fight, Todd's raw bravery contrasts with Viola's cold determination and her future technology. In the midst of the chaos, Mayor Prentice himself arrives in Farbranch with his squad. He does not just want Todd back, he wants to destroy any source of truth. It is here that Todd finally decides to open his mother's diary. With the help of Viola, who can read unlike Todd, who was forbidden to learn in the city, he learns the terrifying truth. The spackle never killed the women. The truth is much worse. When the men of Prentisstown began to lose their minds from the noise, they could not stand that the women could see all their shameful thoughts and weaknesses while remaining impenetrable. Led by the mayor, the men themselves exterminated their wives and daughters in a fit of mass psychosis and a thirst for control. Mayor Prentice built his power on the greatest lie in the history of the planet. Now Todd understands that he is not just a fugitive, he is a witness to a crime that the mayor is ready to hide at any cost. He and Viola dash toward an abandoned transmitter located in the ruins of the first colony ship. Behind them follows an army whose combined noise sounds like an oncoming storm, erasing everything in its path. Todd and Viola reach the ruins of the first reconnaissance ship, which towers over the jungle like the steel skeleton of an extinct giant. Here lies the only functioning transmitter capable of sending a signal to the orbit where the main colony ship drifts. But time is running out. Mayor Prentice and his army have already surrounded the ruins. The roar of their combined noise shakes the metal plating, creating an atmosphere of impending catastrophe. While Viola feverishly tries to activate the ancient consoles, Todd steps out to his final stand. Aaron stands in his way. The preacher has gone completely mad. He wants to cleanse Todd by killing him and Viola. In this scene, it is vital to show the physical embodiment of the noise. Aaron creates a hellish fire from his thoughts around himself, but Todd, remembering everything his guardians taught him and what he learned about his mother, finds his strength. He does not just scream, he visualizes images of all the murdered women of the city. His noise becomes a projection of the collective guilt of Prentisstown. This sight literally blinds Aaron, and at the decisive moment, Todd defeats the fanatic, sending him into the abyss of the waterfall. But the main enemy is still ahead. Mayor Prentice climbs to the upper deck. He is calm, his noise crystal clear. He tries to manipulate Todd, calling him a son and convincing him that a world without women is a world without control over male nature. The mayor creates an illusion of Todd's mother, trying to break the boy's will. For a moment, it seems Todd has succumbed. His protective dome, "I am Todd Hewitt," begins to crack. At this moment, Viola launches the transmitter. A pillar of bright light pierces the sky, heading into space. The mayor, in a rage, fires at her, but Todd lunges to intercept. Now he does not try to hide his thoughts. He unleashes upon the mayor the full truth that he tried to erase. Todd visualizes every line from his mother's diary, every scream of the women who died at Prentice's hands. This mental blow is so powerful that the mayor's silence explodes. His perfect control collapses under the weight of his own crimes. In the final struggle, the mayor falls from a great height, disappearing into the jungles he so long tried to bend to his will. The sky over the new world changes. Massive shadows block the sun. These are the landing modules of the main ship. Thousands of new colonists, men and women, arrive on the planet. For Todd, this is the end of an old life and the beginning of a new one. In the final scene, we see Todd in the infirmary on the ship. He wakes up and his noise has changed. It is calm, harmonious like a quiet melody. Viola approaches him. Between them, there are no more secrets, no more lies, and no more fear. Despite the fact that the planet still forces his thoughts to sound aloud, now it is not chaos. It is his voice in a new, truly quiet world. They look through the porthole at the planet, which has finally received a chance for peaceful coexistence. The concept of noise in this film is not just a sci-fi premise, but a frighteningly accurate metaphor for modern information chaos. We live in an era where every move is visible on social media, and privacy is becoming a luxury. Chaos Walking takes this idea to the absolute. What happens to a man if you strip him of his last refuge, his own head? Mayor Prentice is a classic example of a dictator who turned a collective tragedy into a tool of control. In Prentisstown, noise became a form of toxic masculinity. Men here do not just broadcast thoughts, they compete in loudness, trying to suppress one another. The suicidal irony is that they destroyed the women not out of hatred, but out of fear. Female silence was like a mirror for them, reflecting all their inner filth, lust, and insecurity. By killing the women, they did not find peace. They locked themselves in a room with screaming monsters. Todd is a blank slate raised in the noise. His mantra, "I am Todd Hewitt," is an attempt to hold the boundaries of his personality when the whole world is crawling into his head. Meeting Viola is his first experience of true intimacy. She teaches him that strength is not in screaming the loudest, but in being able to listen. The film leaves us with an important question: is noise a curse? In the end, we see that chaos can be turned into harmony. When lies become impossible, only the naked truth remains. And though it can be painful, it is the only foundation on which a new world without walls and secrets can be built. This film is a warning. It reminds us that silence is not emptiness, but a space for freedom. And he who fears silence actually fears himself. With this, our immersion into the madness of Chaos Walking has come to an end. Subscribe to Story Arc Cinema so you don't miss new dissections of worlds where silence is a luxury and thoughts are a death sentence. Give us a like if the end of Todd's journey made you feel the value of your own peace, and tell us in the comments. What is scarier for you? To live in a world where everyone sees your most shameful thoughts, or to be the only one whose silence frightens everyone around you? Thank you for watching. And remember, next time your inner voice becomes too loud, make sure that only you can hear it. See you in the next breakdown.